Lies, lies, and more lies. The many lies of Netflix maternal instinct Taylor Parker. Netflix has left out a lot of these lies. Every time I think that all the lies have been told, oh no, there's about 10, 20 more lies. Crazy lies. And this past weekend, I watched a podcast and found out even more disturbing lies that Taylor Parker told several people. And did y'all hear those jailhouse phone calls between Taylor and her mother? The same mother that Taylor accused of sending nasty emails and text messages, the same mother that was trying to stop Taylor from getting all these millions of dollars, the same mother that Taylor said had surveillance cameras all over Wade's house. Yes, and in one of these jailhouse calls, Taylor loses her mind and accuses Wade of stuff. Let's discuss the many lies of Taylor Parker and the jailhouse phone calls between she and her mother right now. My Cajun cuties. Yes, it's me, Anne Marie, aka the Cajun Crime Queen from Carrincon, Louisiana. Cajun born, Cajun bred, and when I die, I'll be Cajun dead. I hope after this video that you like, subscribe, and comment, and don't forget to press notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne Marie. And as always, thank you all for joining me on this Wicked Wednesday evening as we discuss another true crime case. How are y'all doing this Wicked Wednesday evening? Thank y'all once again for joining me tonight. I hope y'all are all having a great night and a great week so far, and that y'all are ready for the weekend. Are y'all ready to hear a true crime case? Well, we have covered this case several times, the lies of Taylor Parker, and I found out even more lies over the weekend. I watched a podcast by Kale Lowry. Kale Lowry has been in 16 and Pregnant, Teen Mom 2. She has her own podcast now. She has 7 children. She's a great person, and she is just a well-rounded woman. And she did this podcast, and it was so well done. I mean, just a great podcast. I'm going to leave the link down below so y'all can go watch this podcast. Y'all really need to watch it. It's over an hour, but I'm going to take out some key points from the podcast and talk to y'all about it. The first lie that was not mentioned in the Netflix documentary was that Taylor Parker told Wade, along with his friends Stephanie and Cody Ott, they were all on the Netflix documentary, she told all of them that her mother, Shauna, was deceased. Yes, she told them all that. Then Wade says he goes to Taylor's Christmas party in 2019, and in walks this woman fussing at Taylor about something and closes the door. And Wade looks at Taylor and he's like, Taylor, who's that? Who just came in here and screamed at you? She goes, oh, that's my mother. He's like, wait, what? Your mother's alive? She's like, yeah, it's a long story. A long story? I don't know about y'all, but if I was with my partner and they told me their mother was deceased and all of a sudden she walks in, that would have been the biggest red flag for me, like somebody waving a red flag in my face. I would have skedaddled out of that party so fast, I would have been like, wait, what? Yeah, she told so many stories about how her mom passed away, and then suddenly, for Christmas, her mother Shauna appears. And Wade is all confused. The friends are confused. Like, wait, what? Who lies about their mother passing away and then reappearing at Christmas? It just didn't make sense. However, Wade still stayed with Taylor. I don't know about y'all. I'm not staying. Would y'all have stayed? I want y'all to leave down in the comments. If y'all found out that y'all partner had lied about their mother being deceased, would y'all stay with them? Or would y'all figure out what's going on? Another lie that I found extremely disturbing was that several people knew Taylor had had a hysterectomy, and most of the people that knew were at this gender reveal party. Yes, her father knew that she had a hysterectomy, and he was the one videoing the gender reveal party. Her ex-mother-in-law knew she had a hysterectomy. This was the mother-in-law that was, her son was married to Taylor when the hysterectomy was performed. She also knew, and she was there. Why didn't anyone open their mouth and maybe say something like, hey, Taylor, I know this is your part and you're doing all of this, But why are you making these people throw this party knowing that you're not pregnant? Why couldn't they all air it out that day? I know that Taylor's mom says she didn't want to say anything because she didn't want to lose the right to see her grandkids, Taylor's kids. However, don't y'all think those people should have said something? Her dad, who was there, her ex-mother-in-law, who was there and who knew she had surgery because Taylor was married to her son. Nope, nobody said anything. Everybody just went to this gender reveal party like it was nothing. That's just very odd to me. Someone should have stood up and said something, because maybe if they would have said something, Reagan and precious baby Bracklin would still be here today. How bold do you have to be to throw a gender reveal party and invite people that know you had a hysterectomy? Who does that? Who the heck does that? That's just crazy to me. What kind of person are you? I mean, come on now. Really? It's not like she invited people that didn't know. People that were there knew. Another lie that Taylor told that I found crazy and just so off the wall was that she was paying off game wardens. Wade and the friends said that Taylor had told them that the reason why they weren't getting tickets for these pigs or something like that was because she was paying off all these game wardens, $800, $1,500, however the amount was, and that the game wardens were giving her a receipt. And Stephanie, Wade's friend, was like, really, Wade? Really, Cody? Do y'all really think that these game wardens are just getting paid off and then giving Taylor a receipt? Come on now. Yeah, Taylor was having these people think all of this. And finally, Stephanie was like, okay, this isn't true. This isn't right. So something's not right. And Taylor would always brag about how much money she had. We all saw that in the Netflix documentary. However, she would tell lies for no reason. She would like go to a party or go to a dinner or go to a function and tell all these people, hey, if you're friends with me, y'all about to be living the life of luxury. Y'all about to be having this paid off and that paid off. And we're going to go on trips and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. When nobody even asked that. No one even questioned Taylor and her money. They thought she was a very good person. And they also said she didn't have to do all that. They were good, well-rounded people. They weren't looking for money. However, Taylor would constantly mention how much money she was going to inherit and that if they stayed friends with her, that they were going to be living a great life. I just want to know, why did Taylor think of herself as being so disgusting, so gross, so horrible, that she just couldn't be herself? That she just couldn't be like, hi, my name is Taylor Morton Parker, and this is who I am. Because they would have loved her just like that. But no, she made up so many elaborate stories about who she was and the kind of life she had. Taylor would also make her belly move. She would take people's hands, place them on her belly, and make her belly move. A lot of people kind of question that, like, how was she doing that? Was that her real belly? Yeah. And if you want, if a person wants, they can make their belly move. A lot of people are like, no, you can't. Yes, you can. And if you make it move a certain way, I'm sure it would feel like a baby was kicking you in the hand for someone else. You know, I don't know, but she was pretending she was pregnant. It was also said that she faked several pregnancies before she met Wade. So this wasn't the first time Taylor Parker had faked a pregnancy. She had done this before. And she was telling people that she was having contractions at 4 weeks pregnant, which I do not believe that is true. I don't know, I'm not a medical professional, but I do not think a person could have contractions at 4 weeks. But she was like, oh yes, it does happen. And they gave me a shot. Well, Stephanie, Wade's friend who was in the documentary, called the hospital to figure stuff out. And Taylor was telling everybody she got this shot and it made her so sick she passed out at the restaurant. None of that was true. Taylor was lying about all of that. And she was making people feel like they were crazy, like Taylor. people don't start having contractions that early. Some people don't even know that they're pregnant at 4 weeks pregnant, but she was like, oh no. So Taylor had a good way of making you feel like an idiot, making you question yourself, like, am I crazy? Am I the one that's losing my mind here? Taylor was a professional liar. She could manipulate people just like that. In the blink of an eye, she would have several people on her team. She was believing her own lies at this point. The police never found Taylor's fake belly, never found Reagan's phone, and never found the clothes Taylor was wearing when she murdered Reagan. Why? Where did she put those clothes? Is there no surveillance of Taylor's car flying down the road, leaving Reagan's house? I just feel that there should be more on that. Don't y'all think they should have found all of those things? Did Taylor just throw them away somewhere? Did she stop on the side of the road and bury them with baby Braxton in the car? Where are all of these things? No one ever found these things. Another thing that Wade mentioned was he believed that Taylor poisoned his food or something else, maybe his drink, I don't know. He believes that Taylor did in fact try to poison him because maybe she felt in her head, I have carried on this lie for this long and I have to get rid of something. Something has to go. So let me get rid of Wade or let me get rid of his friends so I can stop this lie and I don't have to go on with this lie anymore. So Wade strongly believes that Taylor tried to poison him. I believe with Drano, but don't quote me. I think it was Drano. I think he believes that Taylor might have put something in his food or in his drink. Another thing that happened was Stephanie was tired of Taylor's lies. And she was like, look, I know she's not pregnant. I know something's up. I'm going to call them and tell them that I want them to come over to dinner tonight. And I'm going to have her take a pregnancy test right in front of Wade and I. And Taylor was like, yeah, I'll come over. I can't wait to see y'all. She didn't realize that Stephanie had a pregnancy test. However, just hours later, Taylor canceled and said Wade had a headache. However, the whole time, Wade didn't even know about this dinner. And Stephanie truly believes that Taylor had her phone tapped some kind of way. They never found out if it was true or untrue, but she believes that Taylor found out that they were going to make her take this pregnancy test. That's why she didn't show up at the dinner. Who knows? But something just wasn't right that night. But Stephanie said that she wanted Taylor to take a pregnancy test in front of them because she was tired of Taylor and all of her lies. Taylor had 2 children. One was 10 and one was 6. Her daughter, who was 10, Wade says that Taylor had custody of her daughter. However, she did not have custody of her son, who was 6 years old. Taylor told Wade and his friends that the reason why she didn't have custody of her son was that she had a stroke and the judge didn't think she was medically fit to have custody of him. Now, another lie Taylor says that was when she woke up from her stroke, a judge was sitting in her room with the paperwork for her to sign over her rights to her son. Really, Taylor? Really? A judge took time out of his day to drive across town to the hospital to sit in your hospital room and for you to sign over rights to your son because he thought you were medically unfit to take care of him? Do I believe that? No, I do not. I do not believe that. I do think that was another one of Taylor Parker's lies. That was just crazy to me when I heard that lie. I was like, wait, what? A judge went to her hospital room? Yeah, and of course, Wade's friends, Stephanie and Cody, they didn't believe that. They knew that wasn't true. Like, a judge is not going to go to the hospital and have you sign your rights over. Come on now. But yeah, that is another lie that Taylor told. Taylor would make up lies for no reason about what happened to her. For instance, Stephanie says she asked Taylor about this feather tattoo she had on her chest. It was actually a very pretty tattoo. It was very colorful and it was a beautiful feather. Stephanie wanted to know what was the meaning behind this tattoo. A lot of people have tattoos and there's a meaning behind it. Taylor told the story about how she got in this car wreck and her dad had drank too much and couldn't come pick she and her friends up, so they got in this wreck and she went flying through the windshield. All she remembers is being airlifted, and her friend passed away who was in the car. The other friend lived. They got these tattoos. None of that was true. None of that was true. Supposedly it was somebody else's story. This happened to someone else, and Taylor adopted that story. And I know a lot of you know people like that you will sit in a room with them and there'll be other people in that room and you hear them telling all these lies and you think to yourself, none of this is true. These people are pathological liars. Y'all, I have had friends that will make up a whole story, script a whole play in minutes. And you know damn well none of that's true. You're like, wait, what did you just say? And you don't say anything, but you're just kind of shocked. And y'all remember in the documentary when the lady came out, Taylor's friend she worked with at the hiring agency, she had told Taylor that her little girl had passed away when she was born or something like that. And Taylor was like, yeah, I know how you feel. I had a baby that passed away at birth as well. That wasn't true. Like, why make up all of these lies? Why say all of this? And when Wade confronted Taylor about her lies, she would say things like, well, the reason why Stephanie and Cody are telling you all of this and making me look bad is because I'm not going to pay off their house anymore. Taylor had told Stephanie and Cody that when she got all these millions of dollars, that she was going to pay off their house. She was going to pay off all their bills. They were going to live this life of luxury. So Taylor says that since they weren't friends anymore, she wasn't going to pay off all of their bills. And that is why they were so upset with her and they were making her look bad in front of Wade. Nobody asked Taylor to pay off their house. Nobody asked Taylor to pay off their bills. She was just saying all of this because she wanted to show off. She wanted to tell people how much money she had when she didn't have any money in the first place. Why say all that? But yeah, Taylor was on a whole nother level. Did y'all hear the dozen of jailhouse calls between Shauna and her mother? Yeah, they were disturbing. And get this, one of the phone calls, Shauna had enough of Taylor running her mouth that she straight up said, Taylor, if you would have been worried about your own children who were on this earth, none of this would have happened. Taylor didn't say anything. She kept her mouth shut at this point. And Shauna and Taylor were going around about this and commentary and why the doctors won't see her, how she's been having all these migraines. Shauna's like, oh, you need cream cheese, you need strawberry jam, you need this, you need that. This is when you should call your daughter. This is what you should do. I'm going to send you this. I'm going to send you that. I'm going to pause right there because let me tell you all this. Taylor said so many bad things about her mother. It is ridiculous, horrible, horrific things. As a mother, I know I would forgive my child, like it was nothing. I would forgive my child for talking bad about me. However, in these phone calls, they don't even discuss that. Maybe y'all have heard other phone calls. I haven't. But that never comes up. I would question my daughter. I know I would. I'd be like, you know what? I want to know why you said all these bad things about me. Why did you make up all these horrific stories about me? Why did you say I was deceased? Why did you say that I had cameras all over your house? But none of that is ever discussed. And then Taylor starts criticizing Wade and saying Wade did this illegally with the pigs. He did this illegal, that illegal, and I'm going to make sure people know, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. Taylor, don't worry about anybody but yourself. You are in prison for taking the life of a beautiful mother and her child. So why are you worried about what the jail's doing, what this was doing, what Wade's doing? Worry about what you did. How many people that you affected? How many lives are ruined because of you? Reagan's little girl, who was around 3 or 4 at the time, lost her mother, lost her sister, lost everything in just a couple of hours, and you worried about getting everybody else in trouble? What's wrong with you? And Wade also said while Taylor was in jail, she tried to contact him, and he was like, oh no, I want nothing to do with you. These are just a few lies that were mentioned in Kale Lowry's podcast. I want y'all all to go watch his podcast because it was just as great as the Netflix documentary, in my opinion. Kale did a fantastic job. A lot of questions that I had about certain things were answered through this podcast. Wade also says that a lot of people think that he stayed around because of the money. And he says that Taylor had found out she wasn't getting any money early in their relationship. When they found out, like even before she found out she was pregnant, it was around the time she found out they weren't getting that pecan farm. He said that he knew there wasn't going to be money coming. However, he stayed with Taylor because he thought she was carrying his child. The whole thing is crazy, and every day more jailhouse calls are coming out, and I watch all of them, and I am shocked of what I'm hearing. Taylor is really delusional. She's crazy, and something isn't right with her. She acts like she did nothing wrong. I want y'all also to go listen to those jailhouse calls if y'all have time, because a lot of things come to light in these phone calls, and you really hear the kind of person Taylor Parker truly is, even though we already know she's an evil human being who is sitting on death row in Texas. My thoughts and prayers are with Reagan's family, especially her beautiful little girl. I hope that y'all all remember the great memories y'all had with Reagan, and that y'all keep Reagan's family in your prayers every day. Reagan's husband, Reagan's little girl, and Reagan's beautiful unborn daughter, Braxton Sage. My final thought, I always give y'all my final thought. And my final thought is, I do not think this is the last time we will hear about Taylor Parker. I really don't think this is it. I think she is going to keep doing bad things, and I think that she is going to break rules in prison. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think Taylor Parker is going to remain quiet. I just don't. I think something's going to go down. I could be wrong, but she's such an evil person. And when you hear her on the phone, she sounds normal in a lot of the jailhouse calls, just having a conversation. I miss this person, that person, talking about her day, talking about what she's doing. She just sounds normal. However, she is a devil in disguise that took the life of someone, all because of what? Nothing. She didn't have to do any of this. She had 2 beautiful children. You know how many people in this world can't have children and they don't resort to taking someone else's life and their child? It's devastating. She is a horrible, evil person. I hope after this video that you like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to press notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne-Marie. And as always, stay safe, always be aware of your surroundings, and always know that I'm here for each and every one of you. Thank y'all once again for joining me tonight. I appreciate all of y'all so very much. And don't forget to watch Kale Lowry's podcast. I'm going to link the link down below so y'all can go watch it, because there are over an hour of Taylor Parker's many lies. I love each and every one of y'all, and I will see y'all next week with more Cajun Crime Queen videos. Love y'all. Bye.